So today, I want to talk about the state of Web3 venture investment. I'm Nicolas, I'm a founder and managing partner of Crypto Oxygen. We are an M&A advisory. We've covered about $1 billion deal flow in the last 2 years, and suddenly the deals dried up. So for everyone in the room, the question is what happened actually? So from peak to valley in a blink of an eye, let's explore why crypto VC ran dry. What happened? Within a year, investments fell, VC investments fell globally by 80%. So why did we take a look at global investments? Because no VC we talked to had a geographic focus. Either were in Germany and invested throughout the world, or they were in the world and also invested in Germany. So there's no real borders in this business. In 1 year, it dropped by 80%, and the only upside we see is that the last quarter, the drop slowed down a bit. When we look why it happened, the main cause is less ventures receive funding. 62% of all ventures, of all deals went down, but there's an upside. The money flowed to better projects, so the funding didn't fall as fast and hard as the deal flow. So the companies there got less, but they got less than the total implosion. So when we look at that, we talked to a lot of people and everyone said, yeah, it's the scandals, Bitcoin dropped, but is that the only reason? And let's explore that way, what happened and why. Yes, we can see here Bitcoin price and venture investments, they generally go in the same direction. Not always to the same time and always with the time lag, so Bitcoin goes up, that could be a hope. And when we look at the scandals that happened at the right, the 6 events, then we can see that actually in the quarter where Terra Nova happened, the venture investments in crypto really dropped and tanked for the first time. So with that said, let's look why that all happens beyond that. So is that the only reason? When we go further, we take a look to general venture investments. Purple is crypto VC, and total VC is yellow. So actually the run in investment sizes for crypto went on 9 months longer than the general venture investment run went on. And when we take the general view of investments, this is indexed the crypto investments versus general investments. Crypto really spiked in the peak 3 months after the peak of total venture investment. It was the growth was 5 times higher. When we take a look further to other investment classes, they all seem to follow the same rhythm. There was a high peak, and nearly all alternative investment classes dropped. So when we take a look at that, what is the potential root cause? From our view, when we take a look, it's probably the interest rates. And we can see it here quite clearly. In 2020, the interest rate of the Fed dropped to 0, and after that, the run on alternative investments through all categories, not only crypto, just exploded. And when they went up, they fell nearly as fast as they grew. So let's take a look. What we looked at, yes, crypto prices and fear are a strong indication if we have for the VC investments. A little less strong is general market developments and other investment classes, and yes, the highest correlation here we see is to interest rates. So when we look one step further into the future, what can happen? What do we expect here? So when we look at the deal flow, and here we have looked at different kinds of deal flows from the stage of the investment indexed. Yes, the number of deals in late stage were the highest, but they also fell. But really, for the future outlook, angel and early stage fell the most. So is that cause or effect? Many VCs we talked to said they actually don't have anything to look at. So their associates don't really have deal flow. When they had 50 decks per associate per day, they often have 10. And that's not only in crypto, it's throughout the venture business. And when we look one step further, it's fundraising. So if projects, companies want to be funded, they need funds that have money. But the same with investment happened with the funds. So the total amount raised totally imploded in crypto. And every investor we talked to had the same story. It's incredibly hard to raise funds. It doesn't matter if you're a VC in crypto, if you're a VC in general, if you have a private equity company, all the investors in these funds tend to want to have their money liquid and don't want to put it away for the next 7 years. So what we see that fundraising has become harder. That means for the future there's less money for all the projects. And then we have a new to the moon. We have the fastest adoption of any technology ever with ChatGPT. So to 100 million users in just a few months, they've broken every record, and nobody ever saw that coming, not even OpenAI. And one step further, I would like to ask, without AI, don't even try. So here we see the Google trend search results. The peak of Bitcoin was in 19, but when we add up the two most important search words in AI, ChatGPT and AI, the peak is 50% higher. And every investor we talked to said AI has to be in a company. If it's not the core of the product, you have to show that you're utilizing to optimize your operations, your reach out, your advertisement, anything. So there's strong sentiment that if you don't employ AI somehow, people probably won't invest. And good news, interest rates could be falling. So the Fed own forward projection will drop to 3% in the next years. But that won't be, again, the anomaly between 21 and 20, where interest rates were 0. So this kind of boom is highly unrealistic to happen anytime soon. But the environment is improving, and therefore alternative investments can receive more funding because the pressure on the returns of funds will get lower, and therefore they can invest in projects. And that's the good news. So let's sum it up. When we see 3 reasons, crypto prices and fear, we have many projects that have flushed out, so the bad actors out of the industry have left. The general sentiment has moved a bit, so while there was a strong news on all the scandals around Sam Bankman-Fried, etc., we now have good news like the BlackRock ETF, and Bitcoin and ETH prices are going up. In the general market, fundraising for all alternative investments stays hard, and all the indicators are still going down. So total investment, fund count, deal size, etc. And there's a new big kid in town that's called AI, so AI has to be part of the strategy. The rising interest rates have stopped for the S for now and can move down, but that's highly volatile and hard to predict. So in the end, we could have a better investment forum for the future, and therefore it's a positive outlook, I would say. Thank you. If you're interested, you can scan here the code. We can send you the presentation in its full. And thank you for your attention.